All right, let's just jump right in. We have to talk about the single biggest shift happening in the professional world. And I'm not talking about some little trend or a temporary disruption. No, this is a fundamental rewriting of the rules of your career, and it is happening way faster than anybody thought.
You know, for generations, the path was pretty straightforward, right? Get good grades, get into a good school, and that'll get you a good job. Well, that playbook, it's broken. It's officially obsolete. The career advice, the textbooks, the whole system was built for a job market that, frankly, just doesn't exist anymore.
So let me tell you a story that should honestly terrify any ambitious student or professional out there. Meet Priya Malhotra. On paper, she is the perfect candidate. I mean, a 4.0 in computer science from Stanford, 2 killer internships at Fortune 500 companies. She did everything she was ever told to do. And yet, after this huge career fair, nothing. Crickets. Not a single callback.
So 3 weeks of just silence go by, and a recruiter finally emails her back with this one single brutal sentence. This right here, this is the moment the whole game changed. See, it's not about what you know anymore. It's about how you work with what the AI knows.
And look, if you're thinking, oh, that's just a problem for software engineers, you are missing the point. Let's switch gears and look at Jamal Washington, a super sharp marketing grad who, just like Priya, followed all the traditional rules to land a great first job.
For 6 agonizing months, Jamal sent out 340 customized job applications, and I mean customized. He tailored every single resume, wrote unique cover letters, he was networking on LinkedIn, he did all of the hard work. And out of those 340 targeted applications, he only managed to land 11 interview requests. 11. The odds were already looking pretty rough, but he kept at it. And from those 11 interviews, zero job offers. Absolutely nothing. All that effort, all that traditional prep work, it just led to a dead end. So what on earth was going on?
Well, here's where it gets really interesting. When Jamal actually started digging into these job descriptions, these phrases just kept popping up over and over again. The market wasn't looking for a traditional marketer anymore. They were looking for somebody who could use these specific AI tools to do the work of a whole team, tools his university never, ever mentioned.
And this brings us to a really crucial point. What we're seeing isn't just a skills gap. It's a fundamental restructuring of the workforce. It is creating 2 very, very different classes of professionals.
On one side, you've got the amplified. These are the people using AI as a cognitive superpower. Seriously, they're producing the work of entire departments, they're getting promoted at rates that just seem impossible, and they're earning 40 to 60% more than their peers. And then, on the other side, you have the replaced. These are the pros who are just clinging to their old skills, thinking their degree is going to protect them, and they are becoming obsolete at an absolutely alarming rate. And please, don't think this is some distant future thing. The data is crystal clear, and it is happening right now. These are not your typical recession layoffs. They're happening because AI has made entire categories of human work optional. One person with the right AI skills can now do the work of 5, and companies are catching on very, very quickly.
So, this is it. This is the question. Your degree, your years of experience, none of that guarantees your security anymore. Your entire career for the next decade will boil down to how you answer this one single question. Everything else is just becoming noise.
Okay, so the situation is urgent, I get it. But it's not hopeless, not even close. Let's pivot from the problem and start talking about the solution. Let's look at the playbook that people who are absolutely thriving in this new world are using.
So, meet Aisha Okonkwo, a financial analyst. In August of 2024, her boss basically gave the whole department an ultimatum. Get expert-level good with AI in 3 months or you're out. And while her colleagues were complaining, Aisha got to work. In just 90 days, she totally rebuilt her workflow. By December, she was doing the work of 4 people by herself. And by February, she wasn't just safe, she was promoted to lead a brand new AI-augmented team. Now, let's look at this from another angle. Meet Devin Patel. He graduated with a business degree, but he had 0 traditional experience. No internships, no fancy connections. But what he understood was this new fundamental rule of the game. Proof of what you can do now beats a list of credentials every single time.
So instead of just blasting out resumes, Devin spent a few months actually building real, tangible, AI-powered business solutions. I mean, this just illustrates the point perfectly. He didn't just say he had skills, he proved it. And the result? 6 job offers in 2 weeks. Nobody even asked about his GPA. They just wanted to talk about his projects.
Okay, so what does all this mean for you right now, today? This isn't advice for next year. This is what you need to start doing this week, because the gap between the people who act now and those who wait, well, it's becoming pretty much unbridgeable.
So here are the 3 essential shifts you have to make. First, stop thinking about individual tools and start thinking like an architect. You need to be designing entire AI-powered systems. Second, you have to become an expert in AI-human collaboration. This is the new literacy, period. And third, just like Devin, build a portfolio. Show people what you can do, don't just tell them.
And to help you get started, here's a kind of survival toolkit for the 2026 job market. You don't need to master all of them, but you absolutely have to get proficient in the ones that matter to your field. For analysis, you're looking at things like Claude and ChatGPT. For content, Midjourney and Runway. Coding and automation, GitHub Copilot and Zapier. The key here isn't just playing around with them, it's deep strategic integration into how you actually work.
And all this brings us to the moment of decision. There are really only 2 paths forward from here, and the choice you make in the next 30 to 90 days is probably going to define the next decade of your entire professional life.
Path 1 is denial. It's just assuming this won't affect you, to keep doing what you've always done, and to basically watch as your skills become more and more irrelevant. Path 2 is adaptation. It's committing the next 90 days to rebuilding your skills, to creating undeniable proof of your new capabilities, and making yourself genuinely irreplaceable, because you can combine the best of human insight with the incredible power of AI.
So what happened to Priya, the Stanford student we started with? She chose path 2. She spent 3 months totally retooling her entire approach around AI collaboration. She built a new portfolio that showed she could work with AI, not against it. And now, she's a senior developer at a cutting-edge AI company, making more than she ever imagined. So transformation isn't just possible, it's the only way forward.
The awakening is here. It's not coming someday. It is happening right now, as we speak. And so, the only question left to answer is a really personal one. Which side of this historic transformation are you going to be on? Your future is your choice.